Yeah. So the world around, like, I think if you've seen Inception, the movie.
Of course, man.
So there's the scene in Inception where the bus has driven over the bridge and everybody's sitting in their seats and they're asleep and they're in the dream and they're living in this alternate reality. The Bitcoin story has driven over the bridge, and we're living on a planet full of people still asleep in the van. And we're seeing the change and the adoption and just the value that this network brings to people explode. You know, I can't stop thinking about what Jack Mallers did bringing Strike into the world. I think that, you know, similar to energy markets, remittances is this like totally misunderstood thing that there are, you know, incredibly brave and passionate family people who are soldiers of fortune who have left everything to go to another place to change their economic future. And the way that they change their economic future and provide an opportunity to their family that they've left behind is to send money through a Western Union that's going to cut 30%, 40% or more out of the work that person has done when they try to send that home. And that Bitcoin, it's worse. It's so much worse. It is pure extraction. It is international geopolitical extraction, corporate extraction from the hardest working, bravest people who make the hardest choices to provide for their families. And so, you know, Bitcoin saves people's time and saves people's lives. It gives them access to a quality of life that is otherwise unattainable. And it's able to do that because of a true technological advancement. The value proposition that Bitcoin represents is that there are 21 million of these things, and when I send one, I can't get it back. Those are foundational value propositions that we, the miners, will do our damnedest to secure. Our job is to hash the transactions, compile the block, and make sure that those two properties are carried forward block by block by block. But those are simple properties. But what they offer to people and what they do for people is that it offers an opportunity to not be bled dry, to not have their time be stolen, to not have, you know, onerous regulation dropped upon them by fiat. The freedom and the empowerment that is made available, you know, looks ridiculous and looks crazy, but it's going to be the same thing as putting people on boats to go find whales to hunt for oil, or to put a letter on a plane to send it. It's going to look so absurd that we did these things in the past. And the demand for Bitcoin is just going to be the beneficiary there. You know, from a totally selfish perspective, you know, let's get these transaction fees moving. I'm trying to mine those, but people say like, what can I do to get involved in Bitcoin? Build something useful. You've got this amazing tool, put your human ingenuity to work. This is a call to action. Anybody listening to this, if you are curious about Bitcoin or thinking that maybe this is something that could be for you or could be exciting, think about the creative ways to make it useful to people and go build that. Because there's definitely people who are hungry to fund you, to find ways, to contribute code if it's an open source project, to contribute time, or even just signal boost you and retweet you or whatever. This is the most exciting technological breakthrough that has happened certainly in my lifetime, and I've lived through the beginning of the internet. But the idea that we can make people fully sovereign and empowered with regard to their money, it just does so much.
Well, you just delivered